Hey everyone, welcome to another Monday Mornings with elyse-anne. And this is a new format that I have decided to do. I have both the radio show and the video part because I obviously love video marketing and I love the the radio show as well. So the only thing with this Google Hangout is I'm not sure how to interact with people. Let me figure it out. But through the instant teleseminar, you can actually call in live and you can ask me questions. So if you are on the instant teleseminar link, go ahead and type your questions or press *2 when I am ready to open up the lines, and you can absolutely call in and have your questions answered. All right, so welcome to another glorious and wonderful show. And I am so excited to be with you here, and happy International Women's Day. And daylight savings ended as well. So anyway, you'll see me going back and forth because I have another computer there that hosts the instant teleseminar. So I want to make sure that I have both ways set up. So if you are new to my work, and I'm elyse-anne, I just launched my new website yesterday. Go to elyse-anne.com and you'll see my brand new website. I'm absolutely so proud of it. I'm so thrilled and excited that it just, I don't know, I'm just really happy with it. I'm happy the way it looks, the colors, it makes me feel great, it makes me feel wonderful. Yeah, and I'm so ready to play a much bigger game right now. So I've launched my new website. Go ahead and check it out and let me know what you think of it. I launched it yesterday. I thought it was a good auspicious time to launch it together with the International Day. So back to what I do. I help spiritual visionary entrepreneurs, and I help them design and create a purposeful business so that they can make meaningful money and they can live a delightful, rich life on their own terms, the way they desire it. So I'm all about freedom. I don't know what freedom means to you. Freedom means different things to different people. Success means different things to different people. But whatever it is, freedom means having choices in life, right? Like people who go to work, they feel like they don't have choices. So it's like, I don't have a choice, I need to go to work. But actually you do have a choice. You do have choices in life. It's just that you are conditioned to think that you don't have any choices in life. You can choose not to go to work. It's just that you got to face the consequences with not going to work. You know what I mean? So again, with the money part, spiritual entrepreneur somehow has this money story. And again, it's about choices, it's about freedom. So having, like financial freedom, it's not about having many zeros in your bank account. It's not going to give you freedom, because if somehow you manage to inherit some money, somehow if you touch lottery, and you don't have the financial literacy and maturity to manage your money, you're going to lose it. And what happens is you either lose it really quickly because you're irresponsible with spending. Not that you've heard stories like this, right? Or you hoard it, like, I don't know, just hoard it, right? So that's not freedom, because then again, the money is controlling you. You're not, being able to express freely using the money. So you have to understand that money, it's there for support. So that's freedom, right? Knowing and having the ability to manifest money as and when you desire, that's financial freedom. It's not about having the many zeros in your bank account. And I know so many successful entrepreneurs. Go read up their story. I think reading their story will sometimes inspire us to put ourselves in the game. Like, we all think like success is so easy. Like, I read a quote. It's funny how we think about the overnight success, but how many nights do you have to go through to become an overnight success, which is true. So many times, like the A-list movie stars, you see them from nothing and suddenly they became like a big, huge deal, right? But behind the scenes, you don't know what's going through behind the scenes, So don't judge. There's a lot of smokes and screen in our industry. Even if you're in the property industry, whatever industry that you're in, there's so much smoke and screen. Just don't look. I think the more money one makes, the more one has to go through. So, for people who just say, I don't have the money, I don't know what to do, it's just irresponsible, because they're just using money as an excuse not to create their lives. So then, of course, they're not going to have any credibility. So money doesn't determine your success. I know there are people like, but I'm working really hard. Yeah, cows work hard. Like, you have seen so many talented people, but they're not able to make it. So it's not about talent. It's not about gifts. It's about who you become. It's about working internally. It's about the mindset. It's about the employee mindset versus the employee your mindset. So obviously, if you want to go into business and you have that employee mindset, I need to work hard, it's not going to work. I was talking to an uncle yesterday. It's like, why the rich gets richer. It's because you have more choices in life. And let's face it, the world is as such. When you have money, people will come knocking on your door. Do you want to invest in this? Do you want to invest in that? And say you have $6 million, you buy 3 properties, 2 million each, and you just collect passive income. And that's, who says money has to be hard earned? So it is our collective consciousness. It is our DNA, or like the ancestors' DNA, or the belief system that has passed down onto us, and we have absorbed it, right? We inherited it. So this is the time where you erase that and change your ancestral line and change your ancestral belief system. Money can be easy. It's up to you. If you think money has to be hard earned, then it will be. So today's topic I really absolutely love today's topic. It's about how to put yourself in the game and not play the game. So when I talk about game, some people take it, it's not about game. I'm really serious about this. This is like my business. Come on, if you take your business too seriously, then again, it is not freedom, because your business is controlling you. And I get that, when we are building our business, we have to put our heart and soul in it. I think even like when you reach a certain level, you still work hard, except that you learn how to work smart. You delegate stuff out, you hire people. Does that mean that you don't work in your business? That's not true. I mean, it's like, I hire out I have my designer, my fantastic designer that created my thing, my website, but she will not be able to create it if I don't put in effort in giving her the information, me wrecking my brain how I want my this and that to look like. So I have to put my part in, I have to play my part. So successful people multiply their time. They multiply their money. Just look at Oprah. She cannot do what she do if she doesn't have a team to support her. And I think a lot of people think that if you want to have $1 million business or whatever it is, you need to have a huge team. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your business. You decide how you want your business to look like. And that's why I say it's not about playing the game. So when I say put yourself in the game, it's really putting yourself immersed in your business, seeing how other people are doing their business, what the marketplace desires. Be really intuitive to the marketplace, to what your ideal client wants. Talk to them and really take your business from a non-negotiable stand, like I will be successful no matter what. Because when I was struggling $1 days in my bank, my desire, my non-negotiables were really not be having $1 in my bank, learning how to make and generate money as and when I desire, and to create something that really lights me up. So that was putting myself in the game. It's about education. It's about, you don't learn how to make money out of the blue. So it's about financial education. So I needed to learn about financial literacy. I need to read my books. I need to go network. I need to, hang out with successful people. You need to do whatever it takes and figure it out. This figuring it out, you will hear a lot of successful people saying it, figure it out. So really no excuses, no complaining, no whining, and they're, really putting yourself in the environment. You see, here's what I mean. You put yourself in the environment, but you don't play the game and you don't get competitive. And it's like you switch on Facebook, right? You go on Facebook, you hear people like, oh, I made 50K, 250K, and it's like, oh my God, I want that one myself too. That is when you play the game, because it's out of competitiveness. So I believe in competition, but not competition with someone else, but self-competition. You compete with yourself. You strive to be a better person than you were yesterday. Okay, so you really need to put on blinkers. Like, okay, great, she can launch something and she makes 250,000, 350,000. So what that translates for me is that is absolutely possible for me as well. So you see what's the difference between playing the game and getting yourself out of the game, right? So women are naturally competitors. I mean, when I was flying, it's so superficial. She has a Chanel bag. I need to have the Chanel bag. The new iPhone comes out, so I need to have a new iPhone as well. So there's always this competition, right? So it's coming from the ego self. So, successful people don't necessarily compete with others. They are like, okay, so this is doable. I know that's doable, so I can have it for myself as well. So how can I make it work for me on my own terms that brings me delight and happiness? So, I mean, if you are in the marketplace, if you are actually in several groups, and if you actually notice people are giving freebies, they are doing what other people are doing just because someone else is doing this, so therefore I have to do it too. Yes, there are certain marketing strategies that work. There are certain formulas that work, but nobody said you cannot fine tune it to suit your style, right? So look at Oprah, look at Ellen, look at Marie Forleo, look at, what else can I think about? Like Angelina, like she's a big one, right? Everybody's like cursing and swearing her about stealing Brad Pitt, but she doesn't care. I mean, she goes on. So this is play the game, but not get involved with the game. And you really need to treat your business seriously, right? I mean, I think there was one time I said, you're just taking your business like a hobby business. And then this woman got really offended. Like, it's not a game for me. But at the same time, you need to treat it like a game, because otherwise you're going to allow your business to take control over you, right? So if you treat it like a game, then it's about fun. We know about the law of attraction. It's all about, attracting things from how we feel the emotion. So again, a lot of women, a lot of people, they are so attached to the results. Like, what if it doesn't happen? This is something wrong with me. Da, 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 da. But if you treat it like a game, like think about your Nintendo games. Now it's what? PSV? I don't know. Okay, I don't play games, but I only know Nintendo, so my time, my brain is in that era. So think about, okay, when we play like Angry Birds, even if you play like Candy Crush, I love Angry Birds because it's really fun, and it got me through my boredom when I was breastfeeding. So, when I was, I just gave birth, it kind of like helped me kill my boredom. So yeah, so when you play the game, it's game over, and then what do? You try again. It's like, oh shucks, I went so far with the levels, and then, but you have no choice, you got to play the game again. So if you can use this mentality and this way of the rules in the game, then so what if it fails? So many entrepreneurs are stuck with, I'm so afraid of failure. What if I fail? What are people going to think of me? Look, if you play like the Angry Birds and you got to level 206, and if you fail, is anyone going to say, oh, you didn't do a good job? Oh, boo, boo. They will just tell you, try again. Same thing with your business. Try again. So if Einstein gave up after like 10 tries, today we wouldn't have light bulbs. Today we'll be still eating in with the candles. You know what I mean? So, successful people don't see failure as failures. Like, I've launched so many things, nothing happened. Do I see it as a failure? I have no emotions to it, because so this is where it is, right? You have to find something that really lights you up, and then you'll go after it. You will make sure it happens. You'll launch it, blah, blah, blah. And if you have put your heart and soul in it, there is no way nothing will happen. Even if it's nothing that happened, then you need to ask yourself, where is your mind at? because it's always the mindset, the unconscious, that is directing and controlling your results, whether you like it or not. So if you take a step back and just see, all right, I know so many people want to run events, and then, okay, I have the same thing. Every time I run an event, a physical event, a real life event, there is so much more emotions to it, because you got to pay rent, you got to food, you got a hotel, and blah blah blah, right? Versus just an online, nobody knows anyone turns up or not except you, so that's fine. But in a physical event, right, there's just too many things involved, and so many coaches, consultants, or whatever it is, they're like, what if nobody shows up? What if nobody shows up? What if I try on my best and nobody shows up? It's a very common question. It's a very common doubt. Everyone goes through that. Even the successful ones, trust me, they all go through this, because it's creating something brand new, and it's, again, it's in the unknown, right? And somehow we want to be in control, right? We want to know exactly how it's happened. So the first time I launched the event, it's the Reset Your Money Mindset. I had a number, it was 30, and I actually filled it. I had sponsors and so on and so forth. So I sold out the sponsorship within a day. So I knew where my mind was at. So even if you don't have anyone show up on your event, then it's time to reflect internally, because everything it begins internally. Everything is an inner game. It shows you exactly where you are. Of course, the marketing strategy has to come in place. Of course, the copywriting, of course, everything else. But here's the thing. So if your belief is like, oh, nobody's going to turn up, nobody's going to show up, blah, 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 it shows up in your copywriting. It shows up in your energy. It shows up the way you post your Facebook ads. So if you are coming from that, you know what, I'm going to do it. Know that this workshop is going to change lives and blah, blah, blah. Then the energy inside you shifts. And then the way you do your copywriting, the way you show up, it's so different and powerful, because people can feel your energy. So if you look at the result, nobody showing up, then you need to ask yourself, you touch your heart and ask yourself, have you done everything possible that you need to do whatever it takes to fill that event space up? Sometimes it requires calling people. Sometimes it involves reaching out to people and inviting them. Sometimes it involves connecting with other people so that they can promote it to their list. When you're in that, no matter what space, your brain just will come up with ideas. So many people focus only on the problem, then guess what you will have? You will just focus on problems, right? But if you focus and train your mind to just focus on solutions will show up. This is just law of attraction. This is basic law of attraction 101, right? So train your mind to focus on solutions. And trust me, the solutions will come to you, maybe not to you, but through someone else, right? So that is about doing whatever it takes. And it really shows you where your mind is at. Even DVM, Diane von Furstenberg, she was saying she's so spiritual as well, right? So spiritual does not mean you have to be a healer, card reader, whatever. It's about living the spiritual principles through your business, right? There's no lack, there is all love, and I'm coming from the space of giving and empowering. So she's not a healer or whatever space, but she's dressing women up, making them feel good, and her the way she runs a business is through spiritual principles, because she was diagnosed with cancer, and someone introduced her to Deepak Chopra, and then she started her whole mantra thing, and so everything she talked about, everything is the inner game, and successful people know that it's all the inner game, right? It's what you tell yourself. It's about you are your best friend and you are your worst critic. So, and she says this as well. I mean, you have to be your own best friend. When shit hits the fan, she doesn't call her girlfriend. She doesn't call this. She is her best girlfriend. The same thing for myself. When shit hits the fan, I really go through. Well, of course, I will talk to my coach, right? She obviously has gone through, and she can give me advice that is not emotionally attached, and she can give me good advice. But at the end of the day, it has to resonate with me. I go within myself and ask myself what is happening and what exactly that I want to do. And I before I even talk to my husband, I no longer call a friend. Remember, do you need to call a friend? No, I don't call a friend. I mean, until I am, until I found peace in myself, then I start to reach out to my peers, my masterminders, and then I know that they know what they're talking about. So the worst thing that you could do to yourself is to go seek advice from someone who doesn't have the results that you want, and they give you the wrong advice. All right. So to begin by putting yourself in the game is, first of all, is your company even registered? Is your company even legalized? I think that if it's so small a part, even though it's a very small action, but it just changes your belief system. Like, hey, hi, I'm really in serious business. I'm treating my business seriously. And therefore, it just changes the way you feel. So first of all, is your business even registered? If it's not, then go get yourself registered. How can you grow your business and play a bigger game and impact the world when you're not even treating your business seriously? Now, there is a difference between living your purpose and having a business, right? So many women are so caught up in the emotion part, like my business is my baby as I get it, and so on and so forth. That is where you screw up. That is where you think about, oh my God, what should I charge? This is this and that, because you're making it all about you. So I want to give you, just say this once and for all, and I'm going to say it until you get it. Your purpose, your mission in life is to go save the world, save whatever, right? And to empower this, empower that. That is your freedom. That is your mission. That is your purpose, to save the women, blah, whatever. That is your purpose. The purpose of your business is to generate income and actually make a profit. All right? So if you register your business, then you will change your mindset in thinking that, hey, this is my business is about making profit. And that's where you need to learn to draw the line, like it's about you, not about yourself. So therefore, sometimes it's good to hire out, because have an assistant, have a manager or whatever, because they have vested interest in your business, but they can see it on the other side and be pretty emotionless about it, because I get it, this is your business and it's your baby and everything, right? So there are so many ways of running a business. So, and then you have to think about whether it's scalable or not, because at some point in time, your business will be bigger than you and you will have to scale. So right from the beginning, just think about, everyone starts out the same way, okay? I have nothing against hobby business, because that's how I started as well. And as you take one step and another, and then your business kind of like, it just grew bigger than you, and you have no choice but to grow bigger as well, because you have more people to serve, and you got more things to consider. So it will get to that point. So until that happens, everybody starts off with the laptop on the dining table. Even Google started, in their own garage, right? Yahoo as well. So no judgment around that. And then they took one step and then look where they are today. So this is exactly where, you have to think about your business. Start from where you are, but think from where you desire to be. I'm very sure Google has big dreams, but they just started with whatever they had, right? And so that is where you need to think right now. How do you want to have your business look like? Do you want to, like Marie, right? She only launches her B school once a year, and that's for 8 weeks. Do you want a business model like that? Do you want a one-to-one coaching? Do you want masterminding? What? So this is something that you need to think about, and not just because she did it this way, so I want it this way, and this and that. So that's about authenticity, creative marketing. That's about running business the way you want it, the way you desire it. How much do you want to work? You actually can decide. Who says you cannot decide, right? Because if it doesn't light you up as a business owner, it is not going to translate into excitement for your clients, right? So let me give you an example. I mean, if you tuned into my launch party yesterday, you would have heard it. I said this, like, I really wanted to have a online program that teaches women on money mindset, because I feel like I came from the background where, you know, my mom has taught me, and even in my surroundings, you know, especially in the cabin crew arena, you need a man to be financially free. So our main aim is just to find a rich man so that we can have a good life, right? So my background, my mindset is really like this. And so once I found freedom, my financial freedom, I was making my own money, I stopped putting the pressure on my husband to perform. And therefore, our relationship actually got better, because it is not his responsibility to fund and build my dreams. Obviously, we are husband and wife, but we have different dreams, right? So it took that responsibility off his shoulders, and therefore our relationship improved, because I'm no longer that critical and nagging wife. I build whatever I want to build, and that is freedom to me. So I empower women's financial freedom through entrepreneurship. I mean, that is true freedom, and especially if you have children, and especially if they are daughters, then they are going to look up to you. I mean, think about, why is it so hard for us? I mean, my family came from a background of entrepreneurship, but they struggled their way through. So that was that belief system, right? But just look at, if there's a family of engineers, most probably the descendants will be engineers as well. If it's a family of pilots, then it's pilot, doctors. Why? Because this is the environment, right? So translate it back to your daughter, your family. If you don't go after your dreams, if you don't show your kids how it's done, then they'll never know how it's done. Then in the end, you're going to be that naysayer mom. You know how best naysayers actually, if they're from our family, because they don't know any better, and they are really worried for you. If they knew better, they would have done better, right? So yeah. So I want you to really look at your business, how you're treating your business, and really think from where you want to be and work backwards. Okay. Yeah, and obviously stay away from competition. There is this tendency to compete with others. There's this ego game. So coming back to my story, and I wanted to create a money program, because I looked around, and I myself have gone through many money programs, and I didn't want to create just for the sake of creating. Obviously, initially it was just on the survival mode. I just want to create for the sake of creating, and because everyone is doing an online program, so I wanted it. But I knew that deep down it wasn't lighting me up at all. There wasn't a pull in the body. So that's where your mind, body, and soul has to be aligned. It's like your mind would say something, your soul would say something, but the final say is really your body. And I've learned over the years to trust my body, because it's seldom wrong. And most of us don't follow our gut feeling, don't follow our bodies, right? We treat our bodies like shit. You know, it's like at the end of the day, who's the one supporting you really? It's not your husband, not your children, not your mom, not your dad, not your boss. It's you, your body. And that's why self-care is so important. And a lot of us, I mean, I'm guilty, that we self-abandoned. We we really betray ourselves. Like I've said many times, I mean, you know, we run a authentic business, right? We're all about honesty, authenticity, and integrity. And just look at how many times have we betrayed ourselves. We want to buy a dress, and we're like, no, even though it's $30, oh, no, it's too expensive. I need to save it for something else. Or I do this a lot. I want to go for a massage, but I'm just too lazy to get out of the house to go for a massage. And I'm like, okay, this is too tiring. You know, so this is like self-betrayal as well. And so therefore you need to learn to build this, have this relationship with yourself, with your mind, with your soul, and all has to be aligned. And that's when the flow happens. That is when you're not playing the game, because everything is in the flow. That is when you get that divine download, you put yourself in the game, but you're not playing the game, because it's not about competition. It's not about doing the best. It's not about having the most da 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 da. It's not about hitting the income goal, blah blah blah. Okay, so learn to follow your body. Like right now, it's like I know my body's really heavy when I created the manifest money miracles formula. I can't even say it right. So I know that if I have problems saying it, then there's no way I can promote it, because it's not rolling out your tongue, and it's not of integrity, and it's just so hard. And I have to think about it. What manifest money miracles? It was blah blah blah. It's just so hard. So you know that is the first step that is not in alignment. But I knew I wanted to create something. So I'm like, okay, so what is it I want to do? And I want to talk about the money shadow, because everyone out there is talking about the visualization, the very fundamental, superficial stuff, how to call in your clients, how to call in the money, change your money story, and then da da da. So it was very superficial to that side. I mean, it's not new information anymore. So what changed my money story was really something deeper. It is called the money shadow. So it's based on Carl Jung's work, very psychology, and it's really going to the deeper layers. And if you could do it just by booming and humming, that's not your shadow. So you need someone to guide you to get to the shadow, because it's hiding. So I can give you an example. Like, was it last year? Yes. Last year, I knew I wanted to charge what I was worth, but I was so afraid. But here I see left, right, center people are charging 10K, 20K, 30K, but I feel this resistance. There's so much fear in charging what I was worth. So this is the money story right there. And so I knew it, but I couldn't see it. So I was having a money shadow session with my mentors, and then it was discovered that I had a lot of judgment around money. So I see so many women sacrificing their freedom in exchange for money. So they may not love the man, but they exchange and do it anyway for the sake of money. So in my naive concept as a child, that meant I had to do yucky things, and I had to give up my freedom. Remember, freedom is my huge major thing, right? So I have to give up my freedom in order to have money. Then I'd rather not have it, because that would mean that I would lose my freedom. I would do yucky things, obviously, right? And so that was my obstacle. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a huge revelation, and I haven't put two and two together. So this is what the money shadow is really all about. So many people are like, okay, go back to your mother, how she spends her money. It's really beyond that. What that translates, how your mother spends money, how does that translate to your story, right? So I was having a session with my client yesterday, the day before, and then I kind of like talked her through and explained it to her, and it's like, oh my God, I didn't see it that way, but it's just so clear to me. It's not clear to you because you are there, you are involved, so the ego hides the way. So I find this really fascinating, and it's so quick, and it will take time to digest it. Like, I don't know this. So Carl Jung says, if it's in your, if you don't make your unconscious conscious, you'll direct your life, and you'll call it fate, right? So this is the unconscious. So I find this really fascinating. So back to it. So I was like, okay, so I was waiting, and then finally one day, and I woke up, I got it. It's called Make Meaningful Money, Live Life the Way You Want it. Bam! That's freedom. I'm like, yeah, totally, that's it. So that was lighting me up. So when I was lighted up, I'm going to put myself in the game. I'm just going to do whatever it takes to promote this program. I'm going to do whatever it takes and be detached from the result. Like, of course, I would want as many people as possible. Remember, the fundamental truth of your business, the fundamental purpose of your business is to make money. But then again, if this is your purpose, you detach from the results, and you have this rough idea how many people you want, and then know that the universe is going to send you the right people, and you know that you will do what is required of you to market yourself, market your program, and to promote this and call in the right clients to help them, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So when you come from that principle, it's going with the flow. You no longer have to play in a competition because she made 250,000 and therefore then that's an ego game. That's really seriously an ego game to play. So when I say play the game, is really playing the game from the ego. But you have to put yourself in the game. You have to put yourself in the waters. You have to dip yourself in the waters. It's like money, right? Like a business, if you don't invest any money, there's no finance, there's no skin in the game. You're not like light up. You're not like, okay, I really got to do this, right? So look at the freebie stuff. There's something that I want to talk about. You know, there are some particular groups, they give free stuff, they give free stuff, they give free stuff. Like, you know, where is that taking you? You are degrading, first of all, the entire industry, and you are degrading, I don't know, your services, right? So unless you have deep pockets that can fund your life, then go ahead and give free services. Even then, I think you should still charge, because there's this energy exchange. It becomes very imbalanced when you just give and nothing is taken in receiving. It's nothing selfish about this. So if you want to give free services and you don't want to charge for it, ask for a testimonial. Don't do something, you know, when you want to give free stuff, you have to understand where it's coming from. So a lot of us in our industry, we give free discovery calls. We do free discovery calls is because obviously we want to make sure. In the past, when I was struggling, it's all about, I want the client to hire me. It's about closing the sale. But now, you know, you got to get yourself out of the survival mode. And what the discovery call is all about, to see whether the client is a good fit for you, and if you are a good fit for the client, and if you seriously truly can help the client. That's when you raise the integrity and you raise the bar of the industry. So many of us have, you know, obviously I did it as well. Like I took on clients that I didn't want to take on because I wanted to pay the bills. I took on clients that were nightmare clients, even though they paid me in full, and they were nightmare clients. So where's the integrity? The reason why I did it was I didn't believe in God. I believed in God, but I didn't believe that the right clients will come. I didn't believe that, you know, I would have good clients. So I made that decision on the ego side. Do you know what I mean? So I really, really want you to start right from the beginning, give out and send out the right signals, because it's really super traumatizing if you take on like nightmare clients and then you have to serve them. It's very yucky. All right, so I'm ready to take your questions. I'm going to quickly go back here. If you have any questions, please go ahead and press *2. And let's see if you have any questions for me. Any questions? You can quickly type in via the chat box, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. And also, if you are not part of, in case if you are interested in checking out the money course, it's elyse-anne.com/make-meaningful/money hyphen. So it's make-meaningful-money. So you know it in your heart of hearts whether or not you want to finally change your financial destiny and take control. So you know, you check within yourself, okay? But this show today is not about that. I just want to let you know that there's such a thing going on with me, and all right. But I really want you to go check out my new website. I absolutely adore it. I mean, it's like, if you have website shame, seriously do something about it. For the past 1 year, well, let's just say when I didn't hate it, but I don't exactly love it either. So I wasn't sending too many people to my website. You know, it's like your website I said this in my launch party yesterday. So your website basically has got 3 functions: is to build a community, is to capture leads, and it's a conversation, it's communication, right? And some people love the website, some people don't, but I personally love the website, especially the blogs, because it helps you rank your blog and it actually showcases your expertise. People don't, the truth of the matter is people don't come onto your website and they hire you the first time they see you. You probably need to build some kind of relationship, and in order to build that relationship, you need to capture leads or have some kind of communication going on and build that relationship through time, and believe that the right people, the right clients would hire you and work with you. And that's what the discovery call is really about, and to see how that flow is and that energy is, so that is the integrity part, and it's not to sell, right? And it may take a long time, it may take a longer process, but trust me, it's a worthwhile process. Your clients will love and trust you and build a longer and stronger relationship through the years. So it's about in the game again, right? It's about building your character. It's about building your strength as a coach, mentor, consultant, whatever you call yourself, right? So yeah, I was talking about the website, and I absolutely love my website. I feel like now I'm on the same level as Marie Forleo, because she's got a wonderful website as well. And I feel so proud of my website, and I just wish everyone would just visit my website. And yesterday I launched my website. There was a spike in visitors because I have Google Analytics, and go get your Google Analytics. You can see who comes through your website and who visits and how long they stay and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty happy, because generally people stay for 3 minutes, three or minutes or so on one website, and most people are staying for about 3 minutes. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked about this. So we built from scratch. We built from where we are, and and I cannot stress how a good website is not even. It's not even the business cards right now, because how often do we actually go local networkings, right? And I've heard from this very successful mentor. He said when he goes out to network, he doesn't even bring name cards. Why? Because if you are really interested in knowing who I am, or if you are really interested in hiring me, you would just go find it, because everything is Googleable. Let's just face it, everything is on the web right now. So if I want to look for you and I met you, I'll go Google your name and you will pop up. So your duty is to make sure your name pops up, all right? And during networking events, it's about being memorable. It's not about selling your services. And I find during networking, in BNI, we talked about the hunter versus the farmer. So most people are the hunters. They want to kill, and sound. That's very yucky. That's where the salesy, slimy snake oil salesmen come in. It's about building relationships. Yes, it may take a longer time unless you're just selling like clothes. Then you see, you like it, you buy it. But most of us are selling the invisible. We are, selling a service, and it does needs like, some kind of trust. Unless you're like doing some kind of writing the will for someone who is already, unless you have a very specific need right now, then boom, yes, you get it. All right. But most of us, we need to build that relationship. And I'm just saying that even that small, slight shift in my website has given me so much confidence to do more. And it just brings that level of confidence out in me. Like, I'm so proud of my website now. I have no website shame. And I'm just talking about, I'm going to spam everyone with my website because I'm really proud of it, right? And the way it looks, the way it's just gorgeous. So why would I want to share with you? And therefore I had the launch party yesterday, hoping that, I wanted people to come in and witness that together with me. Yep. And so if you've touched your heart and you know that you have some kind of website shame going on, then I really strongly suggest that you go do something about it, because I am telling you that it really shifted me somehow. So if you want to play a bigger game, then you have to make sure your branding and everything is vibrating at the level, at that message that you are talking about. So just imagine going to a expert website and it's like, what? And you know, it's just off some Wix template or Weebly template. What kind of first impression is that? I mean, seriously, you really sure? So as of like first impression, it goes from the way you dress, the way you present yourself, everything is the same. And nowadays, there's so much noise out there, right? Even your neighbor's daughter is some kind of healer consultant kind of thing, right? So how do you stand out from the crowd? So it's your website. It's how you make them. It's like your home on your in the web space. So it's how you want to make them feel when they land on your website. Do you feel, do you make them feel welcomed and all that kind of thing? So when I did my video, I didn't have any scripts. I usually don't have scripts for my video. I will briefly write out what I want to say, so that it anchors in and I remember the message. And then I just say and speak out from my heart. So many of you have said that my video is really is real because I have no scripts. That's where people can feel it. That's why I love video marketing. And that's why it's like when I'm thinking, okay, I want to do the radio show, but it doesn't have a video. And do I have to do another video for it? So that's when I explained the other session, the other show, the other Monday mornings, where I said, I want to have both. So I leverage the technology and have the recorded version and as well as the video so that I don't have to do another video. Otherwise, it's weird, right? So that's what I'm talking about. You run your business the way you want it, not because someone else, has done it this way, so I wanted it this way. And, you really need to have this conversation and relationship with yourself. All right. So if there aren't any questions, I would love for you to leave me a comment on my blog and tell me what you think and tell me what you have learned and what's your number one biggest takeaway from this Monday mornings with me. And at the same time, if you haven't joined our the community, the Spiritual Entrepreneurs community, go ahead and go to Facebook and key in these spiritual entrepreneurs and request request to join. There are about 1,500 something, 1,550 something spiritual entrepreneurs in our group right now, and it's growing on a daily basis. So what sets us apart is it's not just selling. For me, I totally believe in networking, building relationships, and break down the know, like, trust factor. So you can see, right, for me, I just observe what the other groups are doing. And this is something that you need to develop. You need to develop your own intuition. You need to suss out and really, that's what makes a successful entrepreneur and not very successful. People are really in tune to the marketplace. They observe, they look. So I've been noticing other groups, and of course, this is my group and I run it the way I want it. So it's like what I do not desire, I don't like in other groups, I don't do it to my group. And honestly, if you want my honest opinion, if you want business in the group, build relationships. There are just too many come and go. Obviously, I do that too because that's what other groups are doing and they allowed it, and that seems to be the culture. So come and go. But in my group, it's about networking, building relationships, and connecting everyone throughout the world. I mean, the world has become such a smaller place because of technology. So what sets me apart from other group is about the networking, having meaningful conversations. I would strongly suggest to bring the local networking formula to the online formula. Reach out to someone who you think has a commonality, like interests, clients, whatever. Build relationships with them. It goes a long way. It's the way women run businesses and the way men run businesses, they are so different. Women do business with relationships, the know, like, trust factor. Men, they are very men. This couple of months I've been have been connecting with a few millionaire men, and the way they do business, fearless, relentless, absolutely nothing to think about. It's just about the goals. Women have just too many things to consider. My ego, my men, no. Boom, boom, boom. It's all about the numbers. How can we do? How fast can we do this? Boom, 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 boom. So obviously, we women do different. We know we build our businesses the feminine way, and so this boom, boom, boom thing, it's not for us. But it was interesting for me to witness how men built the business, and I just couldn't take it. It was just not for me, you know. So you got to experience that yourself, and you really have to be very vigilant in the marketplace and see what that works for you. So the men kind of business is definitely not for me, you know. I know it. You gotta try it to know how it feels like for you. So that's about putting yourself in the game. Just try everything. It's literally playing a game. It's like, okay, let's see what it will show up now. I totally want this, and let's just see. And then play an inner game with yourself, right? And it makes it fun. You detach from the result, and you're not gonna bash yourself up if nothing happens, but something will happen, you know. So yep, and that's about the spiritual community. And go ahead and like my Facebook page is the elyse-anne. So I look forward to connecting with you, and do leave me a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will speak to you again next week in my Monday mornings with elyse-anne. And I'm very active on the spiritual entrepreneurs group, and so go ahead and let's connect there. All right, so you have a great week ahead. Happy, happy, happy International Women's Day. Go for that massage, go for that foot reflexology, and go for the manicure if you desire. Treat yourself well. All right, so this is my message for you this week. Take care of yourself. Be selfish this week, because you got to be selfish in order you can be selfless. So this week, dedicate it to yourself, and then use that as a habit. So be selfish today. You absolutely have the permission to be selfish this week. All right, so take care and see you soon. Bye. Love you.